Okay, we're live. Hello, everyone. Cindy Drozda here. Sorry I didn't get that countdown timer going this time, but yeah, I don't know if there's anybody listening, but I'm here, and this will stay up on Facebook, YouTube, and LinkedIn for you to watch later. But yeah, so I'm a wood turner, but today I am not a wood turner. This week I'm out on a bicycle trip in western Colorado, southwestern Colorado, and uh, the the cell service and the Wi-Fi are really inconsistent here. So I am now at the Norwood Library, the Lone Cone Library, because there's Wi-Fi. And if I didn't have that, I wouldn't even be able to do anything at all. So let me give you a little tour. Is there anybody out there? If you're watching, enter a comment. Let me know there's somebody there. And yes, you can ask me wood turning questions if you like. If nobody says anything, I'll probably end this pretty quickly. But I'll be here for a little while. So let me give you a little tour. I am going to get on the other camera. Okay, so here's where I am. There is the back side of the camper van, and this is a bicycle rack that my friend Ion built to accommodate bicycles, kayaks, and you name it. And you can open the rack, swing the rack out so that you can open the back doors. Lone Cone Library here. Oh, look at that weather. Right now, it is a beautiful, beautiful sunny day in the direction we're going, but you can see that the weather in Colorado can change in a moment. Oh, so great to see some people here. I'm really sorry you got COVID, Eileen. That's a real bummer. But we're here. Hi, everyone. Great to see you. And no, this is not the scenery you wanted. If you want to see the wonderful scenery, hey, Cynthia, great to have you here. If you want to see the wonderful scenery, I'll be posting some pictures on Facebook of scenery. And maybe I'll get a video up on YouTube. But this is rural Norwood, Colorado, right here. They are flying the colors. Very good. And this is kind of in the midst of the mountains. It's not really up a mountain, but we did do some climbing to get here. We rode about 20 miles so far today, and this is going to be about a 40 or 50 mile day. I'm driving the second half. Here is the van. This is our support vehicle here. It's a Ford Transit 250 that's all been outfitted for camping, and I'm going to maybe be able to show you a little bit of that here. We've got our kitchen with the stove, refrigerator, and this upper part here is a pop-up where you can open the windows and you can sleep up there, actually. Storage up above the cabin. And for all of you cyclists out there, this is my bike. It is the best bike I've ever owned, but it's about 15 to 20 years old. It's a titanium Lightspeed, which in its day was the thing to have. And it's wonderful. I love it. Oh, greetings from Greece. Thank you, George, for joining from so far away. I bet Greece is beautiful this time of year, too. All right, so if anyone's got a question or comment or anything to say, please do speak up. Otherwise, I'm not going to really have much to talk about except for the weather. Whenever you're out on any kind of an outdoor adventure, the weather forecast dominates everything. And you can see that, let's see, this is more or less the direction we're going. It looks really good. So I think we're going to be fine unless it overdevelops in the afternoon, which it quite often does around here. Oh, and I am having a great adventure. Good time with friends. These little puppies up here are quite often likely to develop into something, well, a little bigger, let's just say, like wetter as well. And we got rained on this morning, although not by much, just a little bit of rain. It was blowing hard, it was raining, but the rain was not strong enough to outweigh the evaporation effect of the wind. So I didn't get very wet until after the truck started passing us on the wet road. Oh yes, this van is the greatest. And here's another look at the van. You can see the cabinets in the van. I did all these cabinets actually 30 years ago. My friend Ion and I did this hang gliding trip all across the country. And we designed and put together this van about like this one. It was a Dodge, what was it? 88 Dodge van on a long wheelbase. And a couple of 3 or 4 years ago, we got out all the cabinets out of the old van and reused some of them and redid a lot of them, but in the same design. I think most of the kitchen is reused. The refrigerator there, the flame that cools. If you look that up, you'll know what I mean. It's a propane-powered refrigerator, and it does not have a compressor. It has this different technology that a lot of rural propane refrigerators used. And there's a stove up there. And the thing that's great about this van from the 30-year ago one, 35 now, I guess, is that this van, if I'm just going to talk, let me get back over here. This van, we have so much better hardware options now. Marine hardware instead of the RV stuff we used in the past. So we've really had a chance to do the van in a much more classy and durable way. So I've had a really good time working on this van. Lisa and Ion, the owners of the van, they did a lot more work. All I did was the cabinets. But it's got a much better electrical system, and the plumbing is much better. Okay, so what does everyone want to see from me here? What can I show you from Western Colorado? You want more guts of the van pictures? You want to see more scenery of downtown Norwood, or what are we going to do? I'm looking to you to direct where I go here. How do you get to the top area in the van? Well, you have to just climb up on the cabinets. Let me get over here and I can show you the upper area there. There's a hole, and this hole is great because you can stand up in the van when you're cooking, but you kind of there's a little step stool, and you go step on there and you climb up on the kitchen cabinets. You can use that red cushion to get up there, and then it was really designed for 20-year-olds, 20 or 30-year-olds, and we struggle now, let's just say, whereas it used to be really easy. And great to see you too, Carol. Great to have all of you here. I'm glad somebody's here watching today. I didn't know if anyone would be here or not. So, yeah, here's beautiful downtown Norwood, and they have an excellent public library with Wi-Fi. It's the only Wi-Fi we've seen for about 40 miles. We were in, where were we last night? Naturita. Yes, it is gorgeous here. And you haven't seen the most of it yet. I will post some pictures because right here in Norwood, this is just a kind of a quaint little mountain town, but it's not really so much of a scenery as if you look on Facebook. I posted a few pictures yesterday. So here's how we're doing it. How many of the miles have we done so far? The first day we did we're trying to do about 50 miles a day. The first day was roughly 50, and yesterday was also around 50. Today's about 40. Tomorrow's 68. So we might fudge that. We're just doing it ourselves, so we get to decide what we want to do. And we kind of go by where we'll hit a town in the evening. So if we need to restock, or we want to use a bathroom, or we need Wi-Fi, we might find it. So the idea is 7 days, 50 miles a day, gives you 350. So we've only got, I think the route it's somewhere between 325 and 350. And we're roughly going to do 50 miles a day. There's one day, though, that's a 30-mile day, but it's like 3,900 feet of elevation gain. So, yeah, you can guess we're going to be climbing a lot that day. And that's tomorrow or the day after tomorrow? No, it's the day after tomorrow. Right. We go up like 3 mountain passes in one day. So that's going to be really fun. And, you know, here I am on the front camera. I just wonder if I'm able. Oh, yeah, look at that. I can zoom in and out. That might be a tad better. Maybe. Oh, no, that didn't do any good at all. Damn, now I'm screwed up. Where can I go? Come on. All right, I guess I got to go back to settings. As always, all of this electronics, there we are. Electronics is always a big adventure, especially for me. So this guy here in the truck this is the mail carrier, and he says it's going to rain this afternoon. So we're going to find out about that. Yeah. Where did settings go? Where are we, folks? Oops, I think I kicked myself out of there. Hopefully we're still on. All I was trying to do was get my ugly mug off the scene and let you see at least kind of some view of the sky. Colorado has the fabulous, most beautiful skies. Look at those clouds. Puffy, almost look soarable. They're pretty low, though. It's not soarable like you wish. And they're not very flat bottom. Some of them are like, oh, there's a flat bottom cloud. That looks pretty good. Yes, an awesome trip. Oh, would you like to see what I'm riding? Check it out. I'm pretty proud of this bike. It's a titanium Lightspeed. I believe it's made in Boulder by, I forget the name of the place, but it's the nicest bike I've ever had. Carbon forks, Shimano one down from the top components. It's a really nice bike, better than I've ever had, and it gets me around. Kind of needs a new chain and needs some maintenance and stuff. But that's what I'm riding. I ride almost every day normally, just around town and stuff. And another view of the van here. What we have up here, up top on the van, is I sewed up this top thing. It's a skirt around between the scissors up mechanism and that fiberglass cap and the top of the van, which has a hole cut in it. It's a fabric skirt, and it's got windows that you can zip them up to close them and have just a complete upper part with no ventilation, or you can open the windows and you've got screens there, and the screens zip out so you can replace their zippers. Yay! Last time we had a hell of a time with the zippers. I mean, the one 30 years ago. And it was yellow. This is white. Goes with the van a little better. What else about this van? Oh, I got to show you the rack on the back of the van. How are we carrying all these bikes? Well, the way this trip is going is we have 3 people and a van. And so every day we have it broken up into 2 parts. There's the morning before lunch, and then we have a lunch break, and then we have another ride in the afternoon. So somebody's bike is always on the back rack here. And we've got the ability to carry all 3 when we stop for the night. And Ion made this rack here. I'm going to see if I can manage to show you, what happens with the rack. Because this is ingenious. First of all, it's got the ability to carry bikes in those trays there. And it also has the ability to carry kayaks. I guess kayaks just strap on there. They do a lot of kayaking. I went up with them to Maine last year. So you pull the pin and you do the latch, and the rack swivels out away, and now you can open the back doors. And what's back there is really not much. It's just the usual stuff. You've got gear storage here is mostly what it is. But the way the van works is, sorry about all this here. The bed, door won't stay open. There we go. The bed folds in half back here, and there's a board that folds over the top of it. So, and there's a cabinet right there in the back for gear and clothing and such. And this table that's set up now in here folds down and makes a flat where those red cushions are, and the bed folds out, and that makes you about a full-size bed. Oh, so George has a wood turning question. How about that? How the world there perceives the quality of lathe works in relation to the rest of the arts, such as painting. That's a really great question, George. And the truth is that it's not just the lathe, but anything wood really does not get the respect in the arts community that paintings in particular, or stone sculptures or glass sculptures do. We probably get about as much respect as ceramics does, and more respect than stained glass. So yeah, wood in general has a long way to go in terms of becoming a respectable art form. Respected, like as in people expect to see it in a museum. And so museums, it's not the great honor that everyone thinks, having your work in a museum, because it's really not what everyone thinks. But what everyone does think is that art is in the museum. So when you have wood turnings and wood art of any kind in the local museum, that tells the public this is art. So regardless of how worthless museum exhibits often seem to be, we need to do them, because that's the first step in getting the general public, who really knows nothing about art, to see us as art. So this is called Lone Cone here, and I'm looking for the cone. I think that's it, way back there, the Lone Cone. And I know you're probably getting tired of all this scenery here, and the van, which I'm very proud of. So if anyone has a question for me or a comment to make, please enter it in the comment wherever you are watching from. Otherwise, I am going to call this a wash, if you will, and get on my bike, because I get to ride. We have the setup where one of us drives to the lunch spot, everybody else rides, and the driver doesn't take as long to get to the lunch spot by car. So what I'll do is I'll go park the van, and then I'll ride back and meet everyone else, and we'll all ride to the final destination, whether it be lunch or evening camping. And we usually find a camp spot off the beaten track somewhere out in the middle of nowhere. And we've also been scouting for where we can find a restroom in the morning. So how do the bikes attach? Good question. Here's the back rack. And if I put that back together, this is all going to make a little more sense. Put that back together while trying to hold on to your iPad with one hand and clomping around in bike shoes. Yep. I apologize if my audio is bad here. I really have no way to test the audio in this system. Okay, so we close the rack, and don't forget to put the safety pin in, all the way in. You see those trays there? You take the front wheel off and the back wheel goes in the tray. The front fork attaches onto, there's a really good example of one, onto this, which is like the hub on your front wheel, and tighten up the skewer there. It's like you'd put your front wheel on. So then the front wheels, there are two of them behind these doors, and the other one goes up above there, above the front of the van, which what you see sticking up there now is a shower bag, somewhat effective. And I'm just going to put my bike in the back of the van because I'll ride it pretty soon. It's a pretty good setup. Yeah, well, thank you, Rich. I'm glad you appreciate it. I thought that since today's my typical live stream day, and I wasn't thinking about time, and I kept saying I was going to do a wood turning live stream today, and then I realized I wasn't going to be around. So, yeah, and it is fantastic in so many ways. Let me tell you the best part. I'm sleeping in the upstairs, and it's, of course, there's no headroom, which is kind of a drag, but I've got windows on 3 sides that I can unzip. And not so much last night, but the 2 nights previous, it was pretty warm. So I could undo those. I could unzip the window covers and have screens and the air blowing by me all night. It was wonderful. Just wonderful. Okay, so I'm thinking I have shown you enough live streaming of this grand adventure. One more tour around the skyline, such as it is, of beautiful Norwood, Colorado. It's out on the southwestern quadrant of Colorado, surrounded by mountains. Telluride, I believe, is that away, where all the big weather is, and we're going that way tomorrow. And here is our sag wagon. It's a Ford Transit 250, outfitted as a camper with the ability to carry all the bikes and everything. So thank you, Chris, and thanks for coming to share this with me. I'm gonna just say goodbye and good wood turning for all of you. Yes, anybody else who loves bike riding, get on out there and do some riding today. I will be. I'm going to get on the bike right now, and I shall see y'all next time. Bye-bye.